I'm Captain Columbo, and this is Vader. Say hello, Vader. And we're here to present the nominees for the 28th Annual Stundie Awards for the month of December 2007. What am I doing in a car? It's kind of an inside joke. I gotta tell you, if you don't live in this area, you don't know how cold it can get out there, okay? So anyway, there was a little glitch this month in the nominations for the Stundies. Somebody from a previous month got nominated again, so we had to rearrange it all, so that's why we're a little late. If Moby 7 would just, get it together. I digress. Anyway, starting with number 1, someone apparently needs to bone up on the current world population and what an acre actually is. It is commonly accepted that the entire world population could fit into the state of Texas, and each have an acre of their own land. One of the things that I enjoy the most is when conspiracy theorists exaggerate to an extreme degree, like number 2 this month. By blinding people to the need to take the only effective action, Noam Chomsky is bringing on disaster. If he convinces even one person to do something other than work for 9/11 truth, he may as well have personally murdered all 6 billion people on the earth. Our next nominee, number 3, seems to see no difference between Malaysia and New York.
I didn't say that the same thing should happen to a concrete wall as to a steel wall. In fact, I'd agree that there would be very different results. However, the Twin Towers were constructed largely of reinforced concrete. Like most buildings, steel was used to support the structure.
Wikipedia link to Petronas Twin Towers.
Under history, it says what the buildings were made of, if you want to read it for yourself.
The Petronas Twin Towers in Malaysia were built from reinforced concrete. That is the subject of your Wikipedia link. The World Trade Center towers in New York City were built from steel.
What part of constructed largely of reinforced concrete don't you understand? Obviously, the Twin Towers were not completely built as a steel building if the primary material was concrete. Furthermore, the transportation of any material through the city would be a problem. Hundreds of steel trucks versus hundreds of concrete trucks is still hundreds of trucks. Overall, my point is that 3 planes crashed into reinforced concrete buildings on 9/11. What differences caused Flight 77 to disintegrate?
And now, the 4th nomination.
Steel at high temperatures may bend, but it never melts or turns to dust. Never! No, not ever!
Take that, metallurgy! Number 5.
The Russians were actually the first nation to start a space program conspiracy. Russia's Cold War motivation was to create the illusion of the militaristic dominance of space. The US government simply caught on and created their own conspiracy to compete. In reality, space travel is technologically impossible. Man has never been to space. The motivation of the conspiracy is a militaristic one. This is why all astronauts are members of the military. Once you create an illusion of the ability to reach space, no other nation will touch you. There is no real research going on at NASA. It's a highly funded propaganda studio designed to create the illusion of America's grasp on space travel. A Saturn rocket is 95% identical to an ICBM after all.
Our next nominee is a double nominee because not only was the original post nominated, but one of the replies to the post was nominated. So we got a twofer going here. A twofer.
They want our guns. These mind-controlled zombies will keep cropping up more and more. MK Ultra in action. This is their tactic. The sheeple will never get it.
There was a time I'd call this allegation crazy. Our next nominee tells us exactly what conspiracy theories rely upon.
That's only true where the success of a conspiracy depends on secrecy. What if the conspiracy were so audacious and diabolical that it would be vehemently disbelieved by default by a public with an emotional investment and disbelief in it at almost any cost? In this case, its success is not a function of secrecy, but of believability, when the secret is inevitably revealed.
That's one of those what nominees? And so is the next one, where, you know those Omaha shootings that happened? Yeah, someone kind of connected the dots here.
It has been reported that Hawkins shot a teddy bear. CNN reported that witnesses and victims can get counseling at Ted E. Bear Hollow. Teddy Bear Hollow? Hollow teddy bear? Or a teddy bear with the stuffing shot out? This is bizarre, to say the least.
For once, I completely agree with the conspiracy theorists on that one. So, our next nominee seems to have watched just one too many episodes of Stargate SG-1 or Stargate Atlantis or Stargate Poughkeepsie or whatever the hell's coming next from them.
I believe we were once slaves to aliens, but we have been freed, and they put us on this planet to carry on.
Number 10.
Perhaps the world isn't black and white. Perhaps it's not just either the hijackers existed or they did not.
Our next nominee is something a little different. It was found on a website that doesn't publish in English. We've done our best to translate it. What you're going to see is as close as we can get to the original language it was printed in, and I'll be reading a translation.
But there are, let's say, scientific problems with the aurora borealis. And why? Simple. In reality, the aurora borealis is caused by the inner sun in the midst of, yes, hollow Earth.
Our last nominee, number 12. Here we go.
It's quite all right. You are expected to maintain your opinion, even if those responsible for 9/11 confess to their crimes.
They have, and you are. Now, last month's winner for the November nominations of the Stundies was, in fact, number 19.
You suck! And your comment too! Zeitgeist is one of the best alternative independent documentations you will ever see. Even when 100% of the information therein would be a lie, you would still find a lot of truth in it.
Yes. Their winner was 100% lies equals pure truth. If you look in the box up in the corner there, you'll see where you can find the sources for all these quotes, and you will also find a link to the page in which you can vote on the James Randi Educational Foundation forum. And as last month, good night, good luck, God bless, unless you don't believe in that, and then just go to bed. Anyway, for me and Vader, Happy New Year. Vader doesn't care.